Hello everyone and welcome to Synergy. Today we're going to be trying out this brand new game. Now as this is an exclusive preview, the only thing we have available to us is the tutorial, but it's pretty cool and it does offer a fairly rewarding game experience to get us started here. So we are heading into the origin. An end to the wandering. For 2 generations, our community lived in the heart of an oasis protected by the hazards of the outside world, but this oasis, like all others, dried out and has died. We were forced to leave our home, but not all is lost. Among the stretches of sand, we reach the shores of New Lake. Their waters, no matter how foul, promise to be life-saving if only we can treat them. So we are here in our oasis, but things aren't well, it was once oasis, it's not anymore. Things are not going very well, so we need to get some water and make sure we can save our people. The first thing we need to do is put in our pontoon dock. That's going to allow our people to gather water from this toxic lake. We're also going to need to clean that water, so we're going to be putting in some retention basins and a water tower to store the water that we do gather. Now this is an exclusive preview because this game is not quite out yet. The demo hasn't been released, but it will be released in the Steam Next Fest on February 5th to 12th. So if you find this video interesting and you think this game looks super cool, make sure to mark your calendars for February 5th and check out the Steam Next Fest and look up Synergy because it looks like a pretty cool game so far. I personally love a settlement builder, so this one is, I think, going to be right up our alley here. Now you can, of course, speed time up, you can pause time. It has this kind of day cycle thing where you have, I think it's 40 days as a cycle, and then you can get different weather things that happen, which is pretty cool. Right, we've got people constructing. So we've got our pontoon here, so we need to put some workers in our pontoon. They're going to be collecting toxic water from there. Now, of course, we can't drink toxic water. That would be very bad. But we can clean it in our basins. So these basins just need an employee in there. Stop those guys in there, and then we've got our water towers here, and we can store both clean water and toxic water in there. And of course, water is going to be vital for our survival, and in case of a drought, we would have a hard time getting it. So we need to make sure we have quite a lot of clean water stored up and ready to go. Because over here was the cycle I was talking about, so 40 days. At the moment though, we've got just temperate seasons coming up. So the next couple of cycles are all temperate seasons, and in temperate seasons, the clouds protect us from the sun's rays, water can be drawn and filtered without too many losses from evaporation, and a lot of plants are blossoming. So we're all very good. We are working on getting these retention basins built. We'll have 2 of them. And if you are aware of a certain engineer, a certain civil engineer, who is definitely real and not fake, he would, I think, love the shape that we've created here with this pontoon and the 2 retention basins. Right, we needed to let that run on a little bit. We can maybe pop some more workers in there so they get a few more things done, because we need to collect 20 clean water to progress here. Now, I can't decide if it's a thing that I like about this game or a thing that I didn't like about this game, but you can build roads immediately. And the workers don't have to do anything. It doesn't cost any resources. Later on, I noticed that you can upgrade them, but at the beginning, you can just place roads down. There's no problems with that. They don't have to build it. People don't have to spend time or resources doing that. You just get roads. And the roads, they'll use them more likely. So rocky gravel trails are less exhausting, so people won't tire out as quickly. Now, our citizens have slept under the night sky in flimsy tents for far too long, and they need some houses. So we need to collect some resources in order to build some houses. And one of the resources we can collect are these rock clusters. So coming down to the rock cluster, we can withdraw the resources. And we also have a handy button here where we can just click that, or we could even use Q, and we can just collect these resources. And our people will come over basically straight away, and they'll come harvest these up. So you can see them just they run over and they're just punching those rocks. But once they get those rocks, they're going to need a place to store things, and that's where our warehouse comes in. So we're going to need a spot for a warehouse. Now maybe we make a road along here. So we stick that there. We can kind of road up this way, and there's our warehouse going in, and then we're going to be containing rocks. Now they have nowhere to store them yet, so it doesn't count that we've collected it because they need a place to store it. So we need to get this small warehouse built, but people are on it. We've got 2 workers currently busy trying to build that up. I do like how you can control how many workers are building things in this game. That's kind of interesting. So I could say like, hey, have only 1 person work in this one because I've got, other building things that are priority. So we can change how many workers are in there, but of course keep it maxed. So we have max efficiency because we love a bit of efficiency. All right, so that has been collected, and then people will just bring over the boreal rock to our warehouse, and then we can get going on building some homes. Now, homes need to be built near cellars, and cellars are where we're going to be storing our food. So you have to have those in a way that you can get food in and out of them. And let's see, can we put a road along here? So that's going to be in the way, isn't it? Can I build a road through here? I don't know what that thing is, but I guess it just stays there for now. Get a cellar in somewhere fairly central here, and we could build houses right over there. Let's put it in the corner, because then maybe we can build some houses down this road. And then we've got 4 different choices for houses, I guess. You've got a rudimentary tent, which can house 2 people, or you can build some stone houses, and they've 3 different looks to the houses. So you could choose, I guess, to have them all the same, or you could have them all different. And they have us up to 4 people. There, 1 of each house going in, because we need 3 houses in the range of this cellar. So let's let our workers work on that for a minute and get those houses built. And then you can see the 3 different style of houses. So I think that's quite fun that you have a few options, and the houses are the exact same. There's no different benefits to having one over the other. There's no different resource cost either. They just are different looking. So you could choose how you want to design your village, which I like that idea. All right, so our first house is in, our second house is in, and our third house is in. So you can see there's the 3 different designs looking quite cute. All right, so 4 adults and 0 children have joined our city, but we need to be able to get some supplies because our initial supplies are going to be running out, of course. Now, this environment is harsh and dangerous, so we are going to need to analyze to see, what's safe to eat, what resources can we get from things. We need to do some research to figure out what we're going to be able to deal with. So to do research, we need a field lab, and a field lab is going to allow us to analyze things. Where are we going to stick it? Maybe over here. All the different things in blue are things that we're going to need to be researching to see what we can get from them. And there are resources all over the map, different things. They kind of come in like little spots and clusters. So we'll have to see all the things that we can get from this little chunk of map that we have. We also need to build a picker's cabin. Now, it does say only 1, but what I've learned from playing this game, because I have gone through the tutorial once already, you actually need 2. It's not good enough to just have 1 picker's cabin. You need 2 because there are different tasks you're able to do with them, and you need to be able to do both. So going to stick those in. I'm going to stick them side by side, I think, and we'll just extend our road down a bit. And it's super key that you do get 2 of these because there's 2 different jobs. We can pick things and we can trim things. So like making sure our bushes keep trimmed and don't get too crazy, but we can also pick the fruit off of them. Now in here, when we got our first one built, we come in here and we add a task, and there's 2 options here. And so this is why you need 2, because you can't, once you choose one, you can't switch this out as far as I'm aware. It didn't seem to work. I spent ages trying to figure out how to switch from fruit picking into trimming. So we want one that does fruit picking, and we want the other one to do trimming. And then once we've got that, we've got things out in the environment which we need to be picking and trimming, but we also are going to need to get someone into the lab, and we need to have them go and analyze some things. So we're going to be doing surface analysis and drawing conclusions from plants. So we've got this kind of watery one at the edge of the map here. We've got this kind of spiky guy. There's a tree of some sort. There's this berry bush. There's a different tree. I think it's actually the same tree, but that's spoilers, isn't it? And that's our, that's our cue so far. So let's also, there's more stuff over here. So let's grab one of those, and they're going to go off and they're going to go analyze those things, and they're going to find out for us what we're able to do with those different objects. So here's our first research coming back in. So he just came over to the riverbank finger, and now he's researching it, and we've received an analysis report. So now what we've learned from the riverbank fingers is that it's possible to cut the riverbank fingers down and harvest its seeds, but workers will be exposed to a toxic spray that the plant produces, which that's quite bad. And if we prune the riverbank fingers, it will lose all its fluid and it will die. So you can harvest it, which means if you harvest something, you can cut it, but if you cut something, that means it's gone. You use it up completely, but you'd get some seeds. If you tried to prune it, the plant will just die. So you don't get anything from it. So pruning would be very bad. So you've got your 2 actions here. You can withdraw the resources and get some seeds, or you could prune and you just kill it. So don't prune it, basically. That's what we've learned there. But we could try to get some seeds, so we could send, so we've got the withdraw resources here. It will just send some generic workers who have nothing else to do to go and grab those. So we could select a couple of these for gathering the seeds, but once we've done that, they will be gone. There will be none left. But we need the seeds, so we can do that. Right, we've got another report in. So our next report is for the cinder sprouts. And our cinder sprouts, we've got lots of different things we can get here. If we withdraw resources, that would completely destroy the plant. However, we would get some bark, or we can harvest it sustainably by picking it and just picking the bark. Or if we trim it, we can get some cinder kernels. Now, cinder kernels are a fruit with an unpleasant taste, but have lots of medical applications. So if we just use our pruning, we can get those. So we could actually send our people out to do that now, because we do have our pruning people. And if we click this and select items, we could send them out to go and prune these. Now we can also just get them to prune everything in a bigger section. So we can just kind of highlight and drag, and then they'll go and prune all of those things. But we also know that we can pick them and get bark. So if we go over to our other picker cabin and we select that, we could do the same and we can go pick that, and then we would be getting bark instead. Now, if you're pruning them, you can't pick them. It will just swap it out. So see, now it's being picked, not pruned. Okay, our researcher has gone and got some stuff from the sharp bush, and he's bringing that back. So that will be our next analysis. And the analysis report has been received. So from our sharp bushes, now we can withdraw resources, but that will completely cut down the bush. There'll be no bush left, but we would be able to get twigs and some of these moisture pods, which are kind of like a berry. Or we could just pick the berries, or we can just prune and get the sticks. So of course you could cut things down, but then once you've done that, that's it. You've got that kind of one harvest from it, and then you'll never have it again. Whereas if you pick or prune, then you get to kind of keep having them. So we are going to need our pickers to come and pick some of those. And of course we are going to be using this for food. So we're going to want quite a few to be set to being picked, I think. But we are going to also need those sticks at some point. So we're going to need to select some of them to be just for the sticks. All right, we'll send them off to go and do that. And we can talk a little bit about this game, because I love a survival city building game. If you're familiar with the channel at all, you know we've played a lot of settlement survival and the Wandering Village. And I just love these kinds of games where you set up a civilization and you need to keep it thriving and surviving. And I'm pretty excited about this game too. It's pretty cute. I like the art style. I think that's quite fun. I love like the kind of apocalyptic vibes of it. I like the chilled out music in the background. I think it has a lot of potential, and I am looking forward to seeing where the devs go with it. Let's speed time on a little bit, but I have noticed we actually have 2 homeless citizens. So our population did grow as we complete some of these objectives where you get some more people. We've got 14 people and only 12 housing. So we are going to need to build another house. Quite like the ones with this like little flag in front the best. So let's do one of those. And we can rotate the building in 2 directions. Only the 2 directions though, which I feel like, I wish I could do like a complete 360, but we can't. Also, I just hit shift too many times and turned on sticky keys, so well done. We've received another analysis report, this time for the whipping gourd. Now the whipping gourd, the only thing we can do with it is withdraw resources. And if we do that, of course the specimen will be destroyed, but we are going to get some of this isothermo gel, which I'm sure we'll use for something at some point. But since we don't know what that's going to be used for yet, we'll just kind of leave that for now. Because of course, once we cut them down, they'll be gone forever. And another report is in, and that one's about our lovely pink sunshade trees. And the sunshade trees, we can cut those down as well. And if we cut them down, we get tree trunks and bark, and we are going to need those resources. But the only option for those is properly just cutting them down. So perhaps where they're a bit thick, we could cut some down, and then maybe more will grow back, hopefully. We've finished the construction of another house. Now, all of our people are having some food issues, but luckily those moisture pods should be coming in eventually. Oh, no, they're not. Oh, I'm a silly goober. We forgot to put people in our... I forgot to put people into our picker's cabin. So, of course, we weren't getting any moisture pods. There was nobody doing the work. All right, let's stick a couple citizens in there then. And hopefully this is going to work a bit better, because our people are going to be getting really hungry. They have had nothing to eat yet. All right, we've got our very first moisture pods now starting to come in as the workers are actually out there, actually harvesting the sharp bushes. These ones they should be able to go and just pick, so hopefully they'll be on that in no time. And it looks like a few more have grown since we've selected this, so we want to make sure we get those being picked as well. Now we've got a new objective, and our objective is looking at processing the resources we have. So there's 2 different types of things we need to be able to make: food in our kitchen, and we also need to be able to forge tools. So in resource refining down here, we've already had a retention basin, which is of course changing toxic water into fresh water. We also have our kitchen, which is going to take some water and 2 different types of food and turn it into meals, but it's also going to turn it into waste. So we're going to need this kitchen to go in. I might stick it, oh no, faces the wrong direction. I'm not sure if that matters though, people. I think we'll enter it from the behind. We're going to stick it in here, and that's going to be the kitchen because it's nice and close to the pickers' cabins, but it's also nice and close to our houses. And we're going to need a forge. I'm going to stick the forge in close to the warehouse. It doesn't fit easily anywhere. We will put it across the street from the warehouse. So there's our kitchen just about in. We're going to need to make sure we put a worker in there, and they're going to start making some meals. So they're going to be using the moisture pods and some vegetables and some water to turn it into simple meals. But it will also potentially cause waste with some rotten resources. Now later you can get a composter, but you have to research it, and you'll be able to use that to make farmable land, but we haven't got that far just yet. We also researched our giant fungus, so in the analysis we can just withdraw the resources to obtain mushrooms. We also looked at the cabbage shrub, and the cabbage shrub has all 3 options, so we can just withdraw resources to get flexible fibers and vegetables. We can pick the vegetables, or we can prune them to get the flexible fibers, so we're going to need to make sure our people are doing that as well. So if we come back in here to our picker's cabin, we're going to need to open this up, come over and find those vegetables, and then highlight those to be found, because we do need these vegetables for making our meals. But we might also want the other resource as well, so make sure we set that to be trimmed as well. All right, our forge is in and our kitchen is in, so those are both good. We're looking at getting 40 simple meals now, so we just need to make sure we have the workers in there to do that. And our forge here, it needs water and sticks, and we take water and we take sticks and we make tools, and these tools are incredibly important. We're going to need them to do for building tasks, and we're going to need them for research tasks, so having lots of these tools is really, really important. But one of the things is they are always missing sticks. That's what I found last time, but then I also didn't know how to trim things, and then I was using this withdraw resources tool, which is bad because then it does devastate your kind of resources around the environment. Now looking over at our cycle, we've got our current cycle is number 3, and we're in the temperate season. 4 is also the temperate season. 5 is the temperate season, but cycle 6 is our first dry season. Now in the dry season, we aren't going to have as many plants around. Things aren't going to be growing in the same way, and also our water will dry up. But luckily we do have the 2 water towers, and one of them is even full. The total capacity of 400 is very good. Of course, we need to take the toxic water out and put it into clean water, but hopefully we'll be able to do that. The retention basins are working hard to make sure that we have the clean water we need. And it's still a ways away, because I think each cycle is 40 days, which is pretty good, but we are almost into cycle 4. And now it looks like our inventory for both of our water towers is full, so it might be worth just building another water tower. I don't think that would hurt at all. It doesn't cost that many resources, and we do have resources. And there's our water tower built, so we have a bit more of extra storage. And they're getting it filled up pretty quickly, actually. It's already at 105. But I think that's a good thing. I think it's good that we have all that extra water. Now what we could do is actually take a couple of our workers out of here, because we do have, it was maxed out. And we could stick an extra worker into both of the picker's cabin to make sure we're getting the other resources that we need. Or we could stick another worker into the forge, because of course we do want to get lots of tools kind of built up. But there we go. We finished our resource processing quest. But we need to keep our citizens motivated, and of course they're already thinking, what's next? Toil and work every day to collect my ration a drop of water? If we're to keep citizens motivated and able to continue to truly live again, it's high time we began thinking of this camp as a genuine city. So we need to build some communal living spaces to make sure we have recreation, keeping our people happy, making sure they're not getting sick. So we're also going to need a doctors, and we're going to be setting up our district. So in our population area, we've got infirmary, which would provide them with healthcare. So we can tuck that in here. That covers all of our houses, which I think is quite good. So let's get that stuck in. And we also need to set up a cultural square and a canteen. So a cultural square is going to be a place where our people can meet and gather and have a really lovely time. And of course, the canteen is where they can have their daily meals and cultural events, and they'll be very happy to have that. So we can stick that in somewhere as well. We complete this little square here with a little bit more road, and our people are already busy in here working and building these things. And now, of course, we have now unlocked decoration, so we can be putting in some lovely things to keep our citizens really happy. And I personally love this sun awning. I think it looks so cute. So let's stick that in kind of back over here so they can have like their food in the little pavilion, but then they can come over and do some sun awning. And it's very nice. There's also city banners, which can go out and about. There are a Kubarat statue. I mean, I have no idea what that is, but it's like a flotation platform, which looks pretty cool. They've got information signposts. You know, when you're walking around town, you want to find out about something, you can read the little sign. So let's pop a little sign in. Maybe we'll have a couple around. You never know what the people might want to learn. We also need some of these flags because they just look so good. And it's going to make our people so happy, you know? They're going to be like, yes, we've decorated this town. And people love a decorated town. So we've got lots of things completed here. Our sun awning is in. Look how cute that is. They can go out there and they can relax. It's very nice. Our little city banner and informative signpost are in. We've got a little table so they can have like a little picnic outside. And our canteen is in. So we need to put someone working in there. And that's going to make our people very happy. So it's going to use food and output some culture. So, you know, that's great. Now we want this to be a social district to keep our people very happy here. So let's check that because we do have the canteen already set up. So that is now done. We have a lively little city here. We need a worker going into our infirmary just to keep sure our people are being safe. We've already achieved a well-being score of 15. So a scent garden is like a nice place where our citizens will be able to go and relax, and it's going to keep them really happy. And I might put the scent garden, is it crazy if I put it behind their houses? There's nothing back here. Let's put it back there, and we'll put a little road back around to it, and maybe we can make like a nice little comfortable space back here. We've unlocked, of course, some other kind of decorative items as well. Now we can get a bird's nest, we can get a fountain, a small fountain and a long fountain. We've got a medallion sculpture, all sorts of things in here. And look at the street lamps. Those are so cute. So we'll put a street lamp or two in as well. Now, street lamps to build do cost tools. So we have to make sure the tools are still coming in. Make sure the sticks are still coming in. Ooh, and look, we have just begun a new cycle. We are in the temperate season again, but in 40 days time, we'll be hitting the dry season, which is a bit concerning. Ooh, and it looks like some of our citizens don't have homes. So every time we kind of complete a quest, we do get an influx of citizens. So we have a few more. So we're going to need a few more places for people to live. So maybe we could put some houses back here in behind. And I don't think it's going to hurt to have a few extra houses so that our population can grow. Now, to build the scent garden, we need some seeds, and we don't have enough currently. Now, remember, the seeds were from the riverbank fingers, so we can just cut those down. And once we cut them down, though, they are gone forever, but then we do have the seeds that we need. 2 of our new houses are in. But we've got a 6th citizen. So Udata is going to the scent garden, but they are unwell, so they need to be able to go and get treated at the infirmary. We do have our infirmary open, so hopefully... Oh yeah, good. So she's now in there, Udata, and she's being treated for her weakness. Now, at the moment, I think these remedies are ones that we were given from the beginning. Ooh, a strange phenomenon is spotted by the citizens. It's a chaotically flashing dot of light, visible only at nightfall. Residents fear it could be a distress signal. Numerous volunteers have come forward to investigate the phenomenon and, if necessary, lead a rescue operation. 6 new adults have joined our city. And now we are heading into new horizons. We need to go and see what's going on, which has given us some more understanding of the world. So we now have a research center we can plop down and a hall of wisdom. The hall of wisdom is absolutely massive. We'll stick it in over there and maybe stick a research center, I don't know, maybe back over by the scent thing. All right, our research center is now built, and so is our Hall of Wisdom. So if we look in the Hall of Wisdom, we need to put someone in there to go and do the actual research. But then we can come in here and take a look at our research trees. Now, this is our culture tree, and we've got our refrigerated houses on here, and different things that actually we've already unlocked, which I'm assuming have been unlocked because this is the tutorial, or maybe these are things you just always start with. But then we've got exploration missions, which we can now unlock. And we need to be able to do that so we can go and explore that flashing light. So let's begin the research on that. Our research center is also ready, so we can stick somebody in there and come and look and see what else we can research over here. So we've got a well, we've got irrigation canals. This one is still locked. Advanced technologies. Ooh, the composter. We also have some upgrades available for our harvest building. So fruit preservation, vegetable preservation, task distribution, which would allow us to have an extra citizen assigned to that building. And then we've got a few things that are still locked behind a condition. I think it'd be quite good to get the composter because we are producing waste. So wouldn't it be good if we could use the waste? Now, to be able to get this, we would need seeds, rotten resources, and tools. So we are lacking in the seeds. We only have 5 in stock, but we need to have 20, I believe. This seems a little bit backwards from how you would think the resources should be. But yeah, we can't begin research because we are missing those seeds. Let's go and grab some more seeds. That would be from these things out here. And then we'll be able to unlock some more research. Okay, we now have 30 seeds in our research. So let's go back in and take a look. Can we now research this one? Yes, so beginning research here. And it's going to take 80 days, it's estimated. So we could put more researchers in there. And then, of course, it would be faster. So if we stick another person in that one, it's now cut the time down to 40 days. I guess we could do the same possibly for our exploration mission. That's cut the time down in half as well for 12 days. The more people we have in there, the faster we're able to do things. Just makes sense. And it does look like we've got 2 employees. So in our employment one, there's a work breakdown. So there's 24 people at work. 0 are currently on expedition because we haven't been able to unlock that quite yet. And 2 are on other tasks. So I think other tasks means they're going to be picking resources or transporting things and removing resources. So you do want some that are probably on other tasks to make sure that the city is running smoothly. Because if you don't have any there, then there's no one to transport things and move things around. Which I feel like is quite different from other games, because normally you would have like kind of a worker's hut. Like in Wandering Village, for example, we have a worker's hut. And if we're the worker's hut, they're the ones who are going to be transporting things around. In Settlement Survival, you have kind of the ones with no job. So I guess that's similar to this one. Right, we have now entered the dry season. So you can see it's really hot in the dry season. And our water production is going to be slowed down, but also all of these trees have died. The berries, the sharp bushes no longer have berries growing on them. So it's going to be tougher, leaner times here. Hopefully we can survive it. Just 5 days remaining on our Hall of Wisdom research. So let's just speed time on and hopefully we can get through this dry season without losing any of our people. Now, one of the things, I don't think the field lab is doing anything anymore. I don't think there's anything else for them to research. I wonder if we could just close this. Could we take that person out of there? Have an extra person, maybe come stick them in the Hall of Wisdom. Go and do some research. Help our people do this quicker. Ooh, okay, we've got some homeless people and also someone is sick. They're being treated now though, that's good. We do need to put another house in. So let's get that house stuck in there. And our exploration missions has now been researched. Uh-oh, there's no clean water nearby storage buildings. Really? We have no clean water? We had so much clean water. No, they still have clean water. They just need to move it around, I think. I think they should be all right. They should be able to get that. They may just be a bit low on employees. Ooh, everybody is now working actually. Right, let's just take somebody out from here then. They have no clean water because there was nobody to transport it. People are getting sick now, which is not great. All right, this research is now completed. So we can put an explorer's hut in, and that's going to allow us to actually go and explore other areas of the map, which is pretty cool. Is there any other research trees that we could get done here? Ooh, education takes 13 tools and 50 of those kind of like light bulbs. Science maybe. Or we could do clay roads, which would increase mobility around the city. I think let's go for education. I feel like it'd be really good to have our citizens being educated. Oh, it's cultured. The light bulb is cultured. Okay, our house is now built. We do have 2 sick citizens, but luckily we do have our infirmary here, so hopefully people can be treated for their weaknesses. And our explorer's hut is now built, so now we can go and explore in the world map. So here's our world map. So these are kind of the areas around us, and we are looking for the chaotic blink, and there it is right there. So we've got a strange glow, a dune, an oasis, the lake, our starting zone, and the cave. So the cave is where the source of the chaotic blink is, so we need to inspect that. Now we can send more citizens, but currently we have 4 available, so we'll just send those 4. They'll take some meals and they'll take some clean water with them, and they're going to take 5 days to get there, and then they'll take 5 days to get back. So let's send them off. Ooh, it looks like our citizens are hungry. And I think it's because we don't have any berries or vegetables in stock, which is of course very bad, but it is the dry season, so I guess we did expect that. I don't know if any are growing around. People are kind of out and harvesting things, but I don't know if they're harvesting things that are actually helping us. I don't know if we can even use these mushrooms for food. It says medicinal. Also, it says invasive. I mean, we could try cutting down a couple of them and see what we can do with those. If not, we might just need them for the medicines. Right, the expedition has arrived at its destination. Filaments of light. In the bed of what once must have been a fierce torrent, the explorers follow the light signal they spotted from the city. It leads all the way to the cavern's mouth, while not imposing. Something about the cavern provokes mixed feelings of suspicion and curiosity. Alright, crossing the cavern's narrow threshold, the explorers' path stops sharply when they find themselves faced with a rectangular dais. The cracks on each of its sides light up in an irregular fashion, chaotic blinking that the explorers can't begin to rationalize, and stranger still, rays of light seem to persist in the air for a few moments, even when no dust or other surface to reflect them. What would happen if it was opened? Okay, it says which approach will you choose, but there's only one option here, so force the way open. By using levers and improvised wheels to move the dais, the explorers succeed in clearing the way. As the remarkable thick stone leaves its slot, the antechamber fills with cold air and strings of light rest weightlessly around the explorers' heads, their colors shifting so quickly that every person's eyes can only perceive a blinding whiteness. I guess we enter, because there's no other option. The ray's origins quickly become obvious. A spherical space at the center of the cavern, which is otherwise in complete darkness, emits its own internal light. The explorers initially assume this is a kind of lantern, imbued with a mechanical function and a palpable physical form. But there's no touching this globe. Just as with the rays, its image persists in the air. Through some untold phenomenon, it's difficult to look at and harder still to comprehend what it depicts. Outside, a vigil waits his teammate's returns. He will wait half the night before deciding to abandon his post and returning to meet his brethren. Neither he nor his friends will leave the cavern. Oh no, they can't tear their eyes away. And so that's it. Oh boy. Right, we've explored the world beyond, and there was mortal risk associated with that. We've lost our exploration team while searching for the light signal on the horizon. We live in a dangerous and largely misunderstood world. Exploring it will take time, precious resources, and moments of deadly amount of risks. Oh, small tragedy, but we are looking to be a prosperous city. So of course up here on this little dial globe earth thing, we had a number 831 is what we are currently at, and that is our score at the moment. And of course we've already completed that because we are above 500. Now of course this game is not out yet, but you can wishlist it over on Steam and continue to explore the world around. Our people are having a rough time though. This drought is no joke. But I quite like this game. I think it's really cool. It has some really good features. I like the big tech trees because I love a good research tree, and I'm hoping to see even more things in here because we do have these 2 spheres, but I'm hoping to see more. And personally, I can't wait to see what more this game has to offer as it gets closer and closer to releasing. And of course, keep your eyes out because it will be in the Steam Next Fest, available from the 5th of February. And I'm looking forward to seeing all it has to offer. But thank you so much for checking out this demo with me, and thank you so much to Goblin Studios for sending me over this exclusive preview key. I super appreciate it, and I super appreciate all of you who've stuck around and watched. And if you've enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and let me know in the comment section, what do you think about this game? Do you think it's going to be just as amazing as I expect it to be? Let me know, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.